Love that cannot die, a bond stronger than time. A story that travels across centuries. Jamie and Claire have fought battles, crossed oceans, and defied history itself. But as a new season begins, their greatest test is yet to come. This is not just a fight for survival. It is a fight. Dark clouds roll across the Scottish sky. The wind howls like a warning of the storm to come. The camera drifts across empty fields once filled with laughter and life, now standing silent and heavy with shadows. A voice rises, calm but edged with dread. Every love has its trial. Every bond must be tested. And for Jamie and Claire, the test is not yet over. The screen flashes, hands intertwined, their rings catching the light of a flickering candle. The shot lingers not on their faces, but on the strength of their touch. Through fire, through war, through betrayal, those hands have never let go. That image is not just love, it is defiance. It is survival. The music swells, bagpipes blending with a low drum beat, creating a sense of urgency. The scene shifts. A parchment letter pressed closed with wax, a sword being drawn, the outline of a man walking into the mist. Shadows stretch long over the hills, as if history itself is closing in. The narrator's voice cuts through the silence again. What began as a story of love became a war for destiny. And now, destiny calls once more. As the tension rises, we see flashes of moments, an hourglass tipping, time slipping away like grains of sand. A map burns slowly at the edges, fire eating through the past, the future waiting uncertain. The echo of hoofbeats rolls like thunder. The narrator whispers, "When the world threatens to tear them apart, only love holds them together. And love is the strongest weapon of all." The screen fades to black, leaving only the sound of a heartbeat. Then, a single line appears in glowing letters across the darkness. Outlander Season 8, Episode 1. For their undying love, the sound of steel clashes in the distance. Not yet a battle, but a warning. The world around Jamie and Claire grows darker with each passing day, as whispers of war travel across the highlands like smoke in the wind. The narrator's voice carries the weight of what's to come. When the drums of war echo, love becomes both a shield and a target. The visuals shift to the small things, an ink-stained letter sealed in urgency, carried by trembling hands. A door slams shut, echoing through empty corridors. A flicker of firelight reveals a sword laid across a table ready to be lifted once more. These are not scenes of peace. They are promises of the storm. As the tension builds, the screen fills with the outline of armies marching through fog, banners waving against the cold wind. Horses thunder forward, their silhouettes swallowed by mist. A single shot cuts to Claire's hand, clutching a ring tightly, her fingers trembling. The narrator whispers, "The past has always followed them, but now, the future demands its price." The music swells with heavy drums, deeper and sharper than before. Bagpipes scream in the background, carrying the sound of grief and determination. A parchment map burns at its edges, cities turning to ash, the smoke curling like fate itself. Then the flash of a blade, swift, unstoppable, followed by silence. The scene slows. A candle is blown out by the wind, and the screen turns black. A heartbeat echoes once, twice, as if time itself has paused. The narrator's voice returns, sharp and certain. Every choice they make will shape the world around them, and not everyone will survive what comes next. The music cuts. A raven flies across the sky, its wings beating against the silence. Then, just before the section ends, we see two shadows moving toward each other, struggling against the storm, determined to stand as one. The screen fades into darkness with a chilling line. Enemies rise, secrets unravel, and even love must fight to survive. Through the storm, through the blood, through the endless march of time, one truth remains. Jamie and Claire's love. It is not fragile, not fleeting, not bound by the years. It is carved into history like stone, and it beats louder than the drums of war. The screen softens. We see hands brushing against each other in candlelight, their fingers locking as if the world outside does not exist. A whisper passes between them, not heard, but felt. like the pulse of a promise that can never be broken. The narrator breathes. Through centuries, through loss, through sacrifice, they have stood together, and still, they choose each other. Again and again, images flow like memory. A ring glinting against firelight, letters pressed close to the heart, a shadowed embrace beneath the pouring rain. These are not just moments. They are vows, silent, unshaken, eternal. The music shifts, the sharp drums fading, replaced by a soft violin, almost breaking with emotion. Then the contrast strikes. Against their tender bond, the world rages. Swords flash, doors slam, enemies gather. Yet every time they are torn apart, they fight harder to return. The narrator's voice grows steady, filled with quiet strength. Love is not their weakness. Love is their weapon. Love is their war cry. A candle burns low, its flame trembling but never falling. Their silhouettes appear against the horizon, standing close, their shadows merging into one. The storm lashes around them, but they remain still, unshaken. The screen darkens. A heartbeat rises again, stronger, faster. And then, as if carried by the wind, the line that defines their story appears. Their love has endured time, but will it endure fate? The music swells to a haunting crescendo, bagpipes and violins colliding in raw emotion. The screen holds, silent, before fading into black. The silence breaks with thunder. A storm tears across the highlands, lightning ripping the sky open as if history itself is striking down. In the chaos, shadows move. Soldiers clashing, swords flashing, voices crying out against the roar of war. The camera does not linger on faces, but on symbols. Banners torn in half, blood dripping onto the soil, a ring shining in the mud. The narrator's voice cuts through the noise. The time for waiting is over. The choices they make now will echo for generations. A door bursts open, a candle is snuffed out, and the sound of hoofbeats pounds like a warning drum. The map of Scotland burns in silence, fire crawling across it like fate consuming the land. The music swells into a furious rhythm, drums and bagpipes colliding, pushing forward with unstoppable force. Then, the stillness before the strike. Jamie's hand gripping the hilt of his sword, Claire's hand clutching her ring. Their fingers reach for each other across the storm, trembling yet unyielding. The narrator whispers, almost broken, "Enemies rise, secrets unravel, and even love must fight to survive." The pace quickens. A blade slams into a shield. A raven lifts into the air, its wings spreading across the battlefield sky. Chains rattle. A window shatters. Every frame becomes faster, sharper, louder. Yet within the storm, the anchor remains. Two shadows standing together, refusing to fall. The music reaches its peak. The heartbeat returns louder than ever, thundering through the silence. Then suddenly, everything stops. Darkness. One last whisper. Outlander. Season 8. Episode 1. Jamie and Claire's undying love. The words fade in against the black, glowing like fire against the night. The echo of bagpipes lingers, haunting, before silence swallows it whole. The storm fades. The clash of steel, the cries of war, the racing heartbeats, silenced in a single breath. Darkness settles like a curtain, thick and endless. Then from that silence, one sound rises. A whisper, a voice almost too faint to hear. Love never dies. A single candle flickers to life. Its flame is fragile, swaying in the wind, but it refuses to burn out. The screen lingers on that small light, glowing in the shadows, as if it alone carries the weight of hope. Behind it, faint outlines appear. Two figures standing together, their shadows melting into one. They do not move. They do not need to. Their unity says everything. The music begins again, soft at first, a single violin string trembling with sorrow and strength. Then the sound of bagpipes joins, deep and eternal, building like a promise carved into time. The flame grows brighter. The darkness begins to break. The narrator's voice rises, steady and powerful. Through war, through time, through fate itself. One truth has never changed: Jamie and Claire's undying love. The title surges onto the screen, letters glowing with fire, framed by the vast Scottish Highlands at sunset. Golden light spills across the horizon, mountains rising like guardians, rivers gleaming like silver threads of destiny. The words strike boldly against the screen. Outlander, Season 8, Episode 1. The music crashes into a final crescendo. Drums, violins, bagpipes colliding into a storm of sound, then vanishing into silence. The title burns for a heartbeat longer before fading into black. One last line appears in glowing letters, lingering like an echo. Their greatest journey begins now. The world fades into darkness once more. No battle, no storm, just silence. From that silence, a slow echo rises, the steady beat of a drum like the pulse of a heart, steady and unbroken. A single voice carries across the emptiness, calm yet charged with power. Their love has survived centuries, but the future has only just begun. The screen fills with fleeting images, brief as a memory. A hand letting go, only to be caught again. A candle flickering out, then sparking back to life. An hourglass tipping, grains of time falling like whispers of destiny. Each image fades quickly like visions of what is to come. Hints, not answers. The music returns, softer now, but carrying a haunting pull. A violin string stretched to its limit. A single bagpipe note held long, trembling with anticipation. The sound grows, swelling but never breaking, as the narrator speaks again. Love will be tested, loyalties will be shattered, and history will never be the same. Then, the screen cuts to black. No sound, no light, just silence. A single line appears in glowing letters, sharp and final. Coming soon. The words linger for a heartbeat, then fade into nothing. But before the silence settles, one last whisper carries through the void. Gentle, resolute, unforgettable. Outlander, Season 8. The screen is black. No sound, no light, nothing but stillness. Then, slowly, a faint heartbeat rises. One beat, two beats. The rhythm of time itself. From the silence, a whisper floats, steady and unshaken. No force, no fate, no war can break what was always meant to be. The camera reveals a horizon at dawn. The storm has passed. The battlefield is quiet. The world painted in pale gold. A single figure walks across the hills, then another. Their shadows stretch long, moving toward each other. No faces are seen, only their hands reaching, their silhouettes finally meeting in the light. The music begins again, softer now, carried by violins and the low hum of bagpipes. Not furious, not chaotic, resolute, eternal, the melody is no longer of war, but of hope. As the figures stand together, the narrator breathes the final words. Their love began in fire. It survived in silence. And now, it will endure forever. The screen glows with the final title card, Outlander. Season 8, Episode 1. Jamie and Claire's undying love. The letters shine bright against the backdrop of the Scottish Highlands, the sun rising behind them, mountains stretching into eternity. As the music fades, the screen turns black once more. One last line lingers in glowing script, almost like a secret carved into stone. This is not the end. It is only the beginning. The heartbeat echoes one last time, slow, strong, endless, before the trailer closes in silence.